Today, we're learning all about what I eat in a day living in Spain as an American. But if you're curious about Spanish food or Spanish cuisine, or even about Americans living in Spain, then this is the perfect video for you. While I walk you through what I eat in a day living in Spain, you will learn about these incredible Spanish dishes. With that being said, it's time for the first meal on what I eat in a day living in Spain, and that is all about desayuno, also known as breakfast in English. And this right here is fresh squeezed orange juice, a bikini sandwich, and pistachios. The first thing that I usually make for what I eat in a day when living in Spain is always orange juice. It's something to know about Spain. The oranges here are so special. They're fantastic. Zumo de naranja natural is a must, which means fresh squeezed orange juice. So if you can, definitely try to have fresh squeezed orange juice when you visit Spain. The next breakfast item for what I eat in a day living in Spain was the bikini sandwich. Bikini sandwiches are specific to the Catalonia region of Spain, and it's basically a grilled ham and cheese sandwich, and it usually has bread, ham, cheese, and butter spread on the outside for a crispy finish. It's super delicious and a must try. The last breakfast item for what I eat in a day in Spain is pistachios, and these are so good. I love that nuts are affordable in Spain. In the US, they are not, and they're actually considered a little bit of a luxury due to its price. So really amazing to have normal price nuts such as pistachio. So I hope you enjoyed learning about what I eat in a day living in Spain for breakfast. Now we are headed over to lunch. We're going to a huachinche, which is super special and super typical to the island of Tenerife. And let me explain to you what a huachinche is. A huachinche is a traditional family-run eatery that is super typical in Tenerife, which is one of the islands of the Canary Islands. And this is where locals serve homemade food and wine in a cozy, no-frills atmosphere. Sometimes it's not always a no-frills atmosphere, as huachinches have become super popular all over the island, and now they're a little bit more upgraded, hence this spot, which is not like no-frills. I hope you follow what I mean. In other words, huachinches used to be literally in people's garages and backyards, and now they're in actual restaurant menus, but not all of them. Some of the huachinches have that still authentic vibe, so it just depends on the huachinche that you go. But anyways, the whole point of going to a huachinche, if you visit Tenerife, is to experience local food, local flavors, homemade wine, and experience something off the beaten path. And something else to know about huachinches, which is something that I love, is they're super cheap, very affordable compared to regular restaurants in Tenerife, so definitely an option to consider if you visit Tenerife. That's everything you need to know about a huachinche if you visit Tenerife, Spain. If you'd like to visit this huachinche, it's called Huachinche La Basilica, in case you're interested. But other than that, back to what I eat in a day living in Spain. We're about to get some lunch. First thing for what I eat in a day living in Spain for lunch is mojo rojo, mojo verde, and aioli with bread. So mojo rojo is the red sauce you see on the screen. It's a spicy and tangy red sauce from the Canary Islands. It's super popular. They put it everywhere and on everything here. It's made with usually paprika, garlic, olive oil, vinegar, and sometimes red peppers for a little bit of spice. You also have mojo rojo and mojo verde typically served with papas arrugadas, which is Canary Islands wrinkled potatoes. You also serve it with grilled meats, bread, or fish. Mojo verde is known as the Mediterranean pesto, but with a Canarian twist, and it's a milder herb-based green sauce made with cilantro or parsley, garlic, olive oil, and a splash of vinegar. And lastly, you have aioli, which is the white sauce. It's a garlic mayonnaise, and that is usually made by blending garlic, olive oil, and sometimes egg yolks or lemon juice, depending on the recipe. Aioli isn't too native to the Canaries, but it is a staple in Spanish cuisine, and it's a popular dip for bread, fries, grilled dishes, and more. The next Spanish dish for what I eat in a day living in Spain for lunch is ensalada de atún con tomate y aguacate, which means tuna salad with tomato and avocado. The salad is also drizzled with olive oil and vinegar, and it's a nice simple salad, especially to start a meal, and it's a super healthy option to order when you're eating out in Spain. The next dish that I got for what I eat in a day living in Spain for lunch is actually one of my favorites, and it's entrecot de ternera, which is basically a beef ribeye steak in English. Entrecot de ternera is almost always served with either roasted potatoes or fried potatoes, like pictured here, and they almost always put like a roasted pepper on it. It's cute. It gives it a little flair. The next Spanish dish for what I eat in a day living in Spain is all about croquetas. Croquetas, in my world, are like little fried balls of heaven, literally. They're made with a creamy bechamel sauce, flour, butter, and milk, and then it's mixed with their flavorful fillings. In this case, it was croquetas de la casa, which I believe was of fish and atún. And sometimes they're of jamon, which is ham, chicken, codfish, which is bacalao in Spanish, or even cheese. Make sure you try croquetas. The next dish for what I eat in a day living in Spain for lunch was almagrote with patata. So let's break down the components of the Spanish dish, starting off with almagrote. Almagrote is a Spanish cheese spread or dip made with aged goat cheese, garlic, olive oil, and a touch of paprika or chili. It's thick, rich, and packed with flavor. It's super delicious, and it's usually served with bread or toast, but on this case, it was served with patata. This also had almendras y miel de la palma. The next component of the Spanish dish is batata, which usually refers to sweet potato. It's grown here in Tenerife, and it's super delicious and sweet. It also has a different texture compared to regular sweet potato in the sense that this is white and regular sweet potato is orange. This dish also had crushed up almonds and local sourced honey on the side. The technical name of this dish was torre de batata con almagrote. As you can see, we had quite a few Spanish dishes and all of them were super delicious. But on another note, I hope you enjoyed learning about these dishes and learning about what I eat in a day living in Spain for lunch. And with that being said, it's time to move on to dessert. The next dish for what I eat in a day living in Spain is all about dessert. And this is all about roscón de reyes. Roscón de reyes is a big round sweet cake that looks like a giant donut and is often decorated with candy fruits to look like jewels. The cake is usually filled with whipped cream or chocolate, but sometimes it's left plain. The fun part about this cake is that inside the cake, there's always a small hidden toy and bean, and the person who finds the toy is the king or queen for the day, and the person who finds the bean has to buy the roscón next year. I luckily got the bean, which means I'll buy the roscón next year. I always buy the roscón, so it doesn't really change anything. So I hope you enjoyed learning about roscón de reyes and what I eat in a day living in Spain for dessert. The last and final dish for what I eat in a day living in Spain is dinner. And on the menu, we have two Spanish dishes, empanada and ensalada de pimiento asado. An empanada is a type of savory pastry that's filled with delicious ingredients and then baked until golden and crispy. With this Spanish empanada, we filled it with tuna, tomato, onion, and boiled egg. And the last part of our dinner is a roasted pepper salad, also known as ensalada de pimiento asado. This is a super simple, refreshing dish made with roasted peppers, usually red and green peppers that are charred until they're soft and smoky, then peeled and chopped, and boy, is it delicious. Every time we make the ensalada de pimiento asado, we almost always put onions and tuna in it. It's really good. And I highly recommend it if you want to make this salad at home. But other than that, that was our dinner. Lastly, my partner made some pesto that he was going to use for pasta the next day. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed learning about what I eat in a day living in Spain. As you can see, my diet and lifestyle have changed tremendously while living in Spain. And for the better. I'm tremendously grateful for the quality of food. We do not get this stuff in America, unfortunately. And I highly recommend for you to visit Spain this year if you haven't already, and for you to even potentially move to Spain. Spain has an insane quality of life, and I truly can't say that enough. So I'll leave you with some thinking to do of when you're going to visit Spain this year. As always, thank you so much for watching. I have tons of Spain travel tips and Spain travel guides waiting for you on my channel, so be sure to check that out, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.